All right, so today we're going to tear apart a business model that's all about one thing: results. We're looking at the affiliate lead generation engine. Let's break down how it really works. You know, for anyone running a business, this is the question, right? The one that keeps you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. It's not just about getting leads, it's about finding your next qualified customer. It's the absolute lifeblood of any company that wants to grow. So, to get a handle on this, we're going to do something interesting. We're going to take one company's website as our guide and just break down their whole approach piece by piece. Now, to be super clear, this isn't some kind of ad for them. It's just a case study, a way to see this kind of strategy out in the wild. And that brings us to our first big idea. We're not just talking about getting any leads. The real hunt, the core of the modern growth engine, is all about getting what are called sales qualified leads. And honestly, the whole model we're about to walk through lives or dies based on how well everyone agrees on what that term actually means. Okay, so the company we're putting under the microscope for this is called UShark Marketing. They've built their whole business around being a partner in this exact quest for those high-quality leads. And boom, right there on their website, they lay out their mission. Let's look at the key words here: trusted, scalable, and, there it is, performance-driven growth. That single phrase really tells you everything you need to know about their whole philosophy. Now, this slide is really important because it shows how they try to set themselves apart. See, on one side, you've got the traditional agency model. You pay them a monthly fee, a retainer, and they give you advice and strategy. But what these guys are saying is, nope, that's not us. They're positioning themselves as hands-on affiliates. Think of it less like a consultant and more like a partner who's in the trenches with you, getting paid based on the actual customers they bring in the door. And they're not shy about who they work with. They list out a bunch of tech-heavy industries: Fintech, HR tech, you name it. This is basically their way of signaling, hey, we get your complicated business. All right, so that's the what and the who. But how does it all actually work? How do they build this lead generation funnel? Well, they lay out a pretty straightforward 4-step method. And here it is, the whole process in a nutshell: define, engage, execute, and report. Now, this might look like a pretty standard marketing playbook, right? But the magic, or at least the unique part, is how these steps get applied in a model where you only pay for results. So, step 1 is all about defining that ideal customer profile, or ICP. It sounds simple, right? Who do we want to sell to? But in this model, this step is absolutely crucial. It's not just a marketing exercise, it's a negotiation. Because whatever you agree on as the perfect customer is literally what they get paid to deliver. Get this wrong, and the whole thing just falls apart. Okay, once you know who you're targeting, you have to figure out how you're going to reach them. This is the engage step. And it's not about blasting out generic ads. It's about creating campaigns that feel personal. The real tightrope walk for any company using a model like this is letting their partners be creative enough to get results without losing control of their brand message. Step 3, execute. This is where the action happens. Their team of affiliates actually goes out and runs the campaigns. Remember that hands-on part they talked about? This is it. They're not just giving you a plan, they're doing the work. And you can imagine that requires a ton of trust between the client and the partner. And finally, step 4, report. You know, for a model that's all about performance, this is everything. The reporting can't be fluffy vanity metrics like likes or impressions. It has to be the real deal. Data that shows exactly how many qualified leads are being generated and how they're moving through the client's sales pipeline. It's the proof in the pudding. Okay, so that's their process. That's the how. But why would a business even choose to go down this path instead of, say, hiring an in-house team or a traditional agency? Let's dig into their value proposition, what they claim makes them the right choice. And it really comes down to these 3 core promises. First, a proven track record. Basically, we've done this before and it works. Second, an expert team. We know your industry inside and out. And third, scalable solutions. We can grow with you. Pretty standard stuff, but it's all built on that foundation of performance. And this brings us right back to the heart of it all: performance-driven growth. So what does that really mean? Well, it's simple. It means you're tying your marketing dollars directly to results you can actually see and measure, like a real sales-qualified lead, instead of just paying for the effort or the hours someone worked. All right, let's pull back from just this one company for a second. What does this whole affiliate lead gen model really tell us about where business and marketing are heading? What's the bigger picture here? When you boil it all down, the idea is incredibly simple, but also kind of revolutionary for some businesses. You're investing in outcomes, not activities. You're paying for a tangible result, not for someone's time. This flips marketing from being a fixed cost on your balance sheet to a variable expense that scales directly with your success. And that really leaves us with the big, lingering question, doesn't it? Is this pay-for-performance model the future for every single business out there? Or is it a niche strategy that only works if you have the right product, the right industry, and most importantly, an unbreakable level of trust in how you define a qualified lead? Definitely something to chew on.